One thing that I was really afraid of before I even started my YouTube channel was whether I'm gonna have enough ideas to keep on going. It's easy to make your first 10 to 15 videos because you've already had many topics in your head that were the reason behind the decision to start. But what will happen in the next 3 to 4 months? This thought prevented me from starting for a couple of weeks until I finally decided to overcome that fear. Hello, it's Marcelina and welcome to Alter to Native, where we learn all about creating content, creativity, self-development and running a YouTube channel. Creating a system for not worrying about ideas for my videos was one of the best things I did at the beginning of my YouTube journey. I tested it on my Polish YouTube channel, where I've already published almost 100 videos, and now I also applied this system to my English YouTube channel to make sure I always know what my next episode is going to be about. I highly recommend you do that too. So please let me show you how you can implement those strategies for yourself. This is a step that can make you much more confident at the beginnings of your YouTube channel or at any point of your journey when you feel like you are stuck. Instead of stressing out, you might never come up with a great idea again. Let it go and don't think about YouTube at all for at least 2 days to then come back to a piece of paper and brainstorm any ideas you might have about your channel. Intentionally, I would do it on a piece of paper as it can give you more clarity and it can eliminate any distractions you might have when using electronic devices. Pen and paper are powerful tools that will take your creativity to a different level, even when you don't believe in yourself at first. To begin the brainstorming session, think about the reason behind starting your YouTube channel. Why did you want to be a YouTuber in the first place? What did you want to share with your audience? How did you want people to feel when watching your videos? If you've never asked those questions yourself before, spend some time trying to dig deep into the answers. There are no rights or wrongs, simply write down anything that comes to your mind. There's usually a big inspiration behind making such decisions as to start a YouTube channel, so I'm sure you also have one. Write down what it is. Who inspired you the most? Who's your favorite YouTuber? What are your favorite YouTube channels and why? The answers to those questions will help you determine what influences created or are creating your style. Next, make a list of all the things you are interested in. You don't have to have one narrow niche on YouTube, and in my opinion, you should only create things related to things you are interested in. Otherwise, you might easily give up. Of course, the list might be extremely long, with interests not really related one to another, so try to put them into 3-4 categories that have 1 or 2 things in common. This is how I came up with my welcoming line for this channel. Creativity, content, self-development and YouTube channel are those interests that are all related to building an online presence, a personal brand, which is what I'm trying to do. I have a lot of different interests, for example, music. I sing in a rock band, or snowboarding, which is one of my favorite sports, but those didn't fit into personal brand categories, so I decided not to talk about them on this channel. After your lists are categorized, go all in with the topic ideas related to your interests from one chosen category. Don't judge your ideas, simply write. Any form is great, it can be messy or neat, whatever you like. Your head is the only place you should be at right now. Try not to look at your phone, don't think about SEO or numbers, don't worry if you are repeating yourself. Set a timer for half an hour and write. Once you are done, you should have a long list of keywords and a vision of what you are doing on YouTube. So far, you've been only relying on your memory, your mind, your thoughts, and that's great because you created something that is truly your own. Now you are ready to take the next step and get inspired by others. The easiest way to find ideas is within your community. What kind of questions do you receive on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok or YouTube? What posts or videos do people like to comment on the most? Have they ever asked you for help? Always write down these questions, preferably in one dedicated space. These questions are the topics for your videos. If they are short and simple, create a YouTube short. If there's a lot you can talk about, create an episode. But what if you are only getting started and you don't have a community yet? Be a little old school and look for inspiration in the classic creative forms such as in music and art. Look at the album covers, album titles, go to a music store or local gallery. They will not give you ready-to-go YouTube titles, but instead space for interpretation. You might be surprised how much you can learn about human behavior from them. What's more, expect a huge motivational kick. Quality work will make you want to craft your own skills to maybe someday get to the level of your masters. Next, grab some books or magazines and look for ideas there. Books are an amazing source of knowledge and inspiration. Definitely much more trustworthy because they are well researched and checked by more than one person. You should definitely build a bookshelf related to your point of interest on YouTube if you want to create quality videos. Magazines are also great, easier to digest and shorter. They can be a fantastic starting point for further investigation. There's nothing more refreshing and inspirational than a close contact with nature, in my opinion. Therefore, whenever I'm stuck, I like to go for a walk to the nearest park or into the woods. I'm lucky enough to live in a small town surrounded by forests, so there's a lot for me to choose from. And you don't even have to think about your YouTube channel when you are walking. It's good to let your thoughts flow because eventually you will find yourself having some ideas when you come back to your desk. Trust me. Local walks and sightseeing are not only a great way to get to know your area better, but to get a unique view for things you are working on too. These days, so many of us look up to those big popular creators that everything starts to look the same. But luckily, the trend of copycat culture, which emerged hugely thanks to TikTok, is now finally over. Therefore, in 2023, we need to focus on authentic and unique experiences, unique points of view, as viewers are tired of seeing the same stuff everywhere. And if you have that possibility, you can take it even a step further by organizing for yourself some inspirational travels. As a photography and travel influencer myself, I visit a lot of places in Poland, usually off the beaten track. So I can then come back to my audience with a distinctive perspective on a particular region. Even for this channel, I can find inspiration when traveling. For example, lately I met the owner of one of the wooden chalets by the seaside and he inspired me to create this particular video. As he said, he wants to start a YouTube channel but struggles to come up with enough ideas and a clear vision. And lastly, you can look into social media for some extra inspiration. This is the easiest and the fastest way as you can find ready-to-go solutions here, but I usually choose this option in the end for a reason. Always rely on not so obvious sources first to ensure your content is unique and interesting. Sometimes you might not even need this step, or you're gonna use it to verify which of your already collected ideas seem to be the best at the moment. Remember not to get rid of your other ideas. Keep them safe in one place. A small notebook that fits in a pocket or handbag can become your best friend with whom you should not part this step to be sure that none of your sudden ideas is going to be forgotten. This method is very often used by artists, writers, and musicians. Putting your thoughts on paper often unleashes more creativity and reminds you of moments when something really inspired you. However, there is a risk that over the time you will start writing down literally everything in it, from a shopping list to a visit to the hairdresser, so make sure that the diary remains only a place to store your ideas. It is best therefore that it is not in the form of a calendar, but rather a collection of blank pages. Another disadvantage of such a diary is the difficulty in finding the particular idea later on. If you have a lot of ideas, some of them might disappear somewhere in the thicket of frequent writing. There is a way around this: moving to the digital world. Asana, for example, is a management and planning app, but I successfully use it to gather inspiration and organize my ideas. First of all, I keep a calendar in it in which I write literally everything that I have to do related to my personal brand. But in each of my categories, I have a tab entitled Ideas, where all inspirations related to a given category are stored. I will not explain to you exactly how this application works. If this is a topic that would interest you, please let me know in the comment below, and I will take it into account when planning my future videos. At the moment, I'm talking about the way of categorizing inspiration and ideas. It's worth taking care of it from the very beginning to make it a habit. If you find something interesting that you could create a video on YouTube, immediately throw it into the bag with inspirations for your YouTube episodes. If, on the other hand, an interesting photo catches your attention, save it under the category of inspiration for thumbnails. Because when it's time to write an outline for your video or to take photos for your thumbnails, you'll know exactly where to look for ideas, and it will save you a lot of time. Of course, you don't have to use Asana to store your inspirations. You might as well use Notion, Notes, or create folders on your Google Drive or albums in your photo collection. The above methods, their implementation and further actions require time and practice. Not everything will always go perfectly. Sometimes you might just not feel like making up anything, or you will feel completely blank in your head. I will tell you how to deal with such situations in one of my next episodes. For now though, don't be discouraged, just keep trying. Developing the habit of constantly looking for inspiration and creating new ideas is not easy, but it brings the best results. So definitely focus on implementing it gradually into your creator's life, because over the time these skills will help you succeed. That's all for today, my friends. If you like this episode, please leave the thumbs up. I also encourage you to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss any of my future videos. Thank you so much for your attention, and see you next week on Tuesday. Bye!